Some Fulani Cabal have boasted that Nigeria is a conquered nation and a divine gift to them from Allah. They want other ethnic groups like the Igbos to leave Nigeria since they do not share the same religion, language and culture. They want the Igbos out of Nigeria immediately. A retired brigadier general alleged that 6 years ago, Fulani leaders met and declared that Allah had given Nigeria to them as their inheritance, prompting mass migration into the country. The Nigerian government allegedly facilitated this migration through visa-free policies and disarmament of local vigilantes, leaving communities defenseless. The influx of Fulani groups reportedly led to widespread violence, starting in the north and spreading to the south, with attacks on farmlands, homes and communities. However, a critic has criticized Southeast politicians for failing to acknowledge or address the security threats, unlike Yoruba leaders who openly call out perpetrators. A specific attack in Enugu allegedly resulted in numerous deaths and the destruction of 32 homes, with security forces failing to intervene despite prior warnings. The Enugu state governor reportedly urged residents not to retaliate, while security forces arrived only after the attack to recover bodies rather than pursuing the attackers. Some critics questioned why arrested individuals linked to terrorism and banditry, including politicians, are rarely prosecuted or tried in court. Accusations were made against high-ranking government officials and security operatives for allegedly aiding terrorists and suppressing evidence by confiscating phones from victims. The critics also argue that self-defense is a fundamental right, warning that failure to act would lead to further destruction and mass killings. The solution proposed is for Nigeria to break apart, as some critics believe the current system cannot protect its citizens and is complicit in insecurity. I want to share with you a story that has weighed heavily on my mind, a story that speaks of deep divisions, of policies that have left communities vulnerable, and of voices that claim a divine right over our nation. It is a story that I encountered in a news report and that I have spent many hours reflecting upon. I grew up knowing Nigeria as a place of rich diversity, where different cultures, languages and religions blended together to create a vibrant tapestry. That understanding, however, was challenged by what I later learned. Some groups, identifying themselves as part of a Fulani Cabal, have made claims that shook me to my core. They declared, almost boldly and without remorse, that Nigeria is not a nation born of mutual consent, but rather a conquered territory, a divine gift bestowed upon them by Allah. Even more troubling, they called for the immediate removal of other ethnic groups, particularly the Igbos, because they do not share the same language, culture, or religious beliefs. At first, I could hardly believe what I was hearing. How could anyone claim that a country as diverse as Nigeria was meant only for a select few? Yet, as I listened to a retired brigadier general recount the events that led to this alarming narrative, the pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place. A puzzle that revealed a history of decisions and policies whose consequences now haunt our present. According to the general, about 6 years ago, influential Fulani leaders held a meeting. In that gathering, they declared that Allah had given Nigeria to them as their divine inheritance. This was not a quiet, private conversation. It was a statement meant to ignite a movement, a call for all Fulani people in West Africa to come and claim what they believed was rightfully theirs. The general's words were both passionate and disturbing. He explained that following this declaration, a series of government policies paved the way for mass migration into Nigeria. In an attempt to promote openness and economic growth, the Nigerian government had introduced visa-free policies that allowed people from across West Africa to enter the country with relative ease. On the surface, this seemed like a progressive step, a gesture of inclusivity. However, when seen in the light of the Fulani Cabal's claim of divine right, it became apparent that this policy had unintended consequences. It opened our borders at a time when a group with an extremist agenda was ready to move in and assert its vision of what Nigeria should be. Along with the visa-free entry, another government decision contributed to the crisis. Local vigilantes, who for many years had served as the first line of defense for their communities, were ordered to submit their weapons to the police. For many of these communities, those arms were not symbols of aggression but of protection, tools they had relied on to keep their families safe. When the authorities disarmed these local protectors, it left entire neighborhoods exposed and unable to defend themselves. In the wake of these actions, the stage was set for violence. Groups that believed they had been divinely ordained to control Nigeria began to move in, armed not only with their weapons, but with a fervor born of what they saw as a sacred mission. The violence started in the north, where these new arrivals began operating with alarming boldness. Reports soon emerged of skirmishes and brutal attacks. What began as isolated incidents quickly escalated into a full-blown crisis that spread to the south. I remember reading about one particularly tragic incident in Enugu. In that community, a violent attack left 32 homes burned to the ground. The images of families huddled in fear, of neighbors watching helplessly as their homes turned to ruins, are etched in my memory. The security forces, who were meant to be the guardians of our people, arrived too late. Instead of intervening to stop the attackers, they focused on recovering bodies after the devastation was done. To me, this was not only a failure of policy, but a profound betrayal of trust. How could those who were sworn to protect us allow such horror to unfold in our midst? The general did not stop there. With a voice full of both sorrow and anger, he went on to question the very fabric of our political system. He criticized how politicians in some regions, especially among the Yoruba, had been willing to call out the invaders and label them for what they were. Yet many leaders in the southeast remained silent, or worse, supportive of the status quo. In his view, this silence was not benign, it was complicit. When high-ranking government officials and security operatives fail to act, when arrests are made but the individuals involved in banditry and terrorism are never brought to justice, it sends a dangerous message. It tells the people that their lives, their homes, and their rights are not worth protecting. Listening to his account, I began to see how the actions of a few could have such profound repercussions on so many lives. The general reminded me that self-defense is a fundamental human right. If the state cannot provide the security its citizens deserve, then people are left with no choice but to defend themselves. This notion of ordinary citizens having to resort to self-defense because the government had failed them was both understandable and deeply troubling. It underscored a bitter irony. In a country that prides itself on unity, policies designed to integrate people from across borders had instead become the means by which certain groups asserted dominance and sowed division. I spent many nights pondering the consequences of these events. How did a policy that was intended to promote progress and unity end up opening the door to chaos and violence? The answers were not simple. It was as if every decision made in the corridors of power, every policy enacted in the name of progress, had been carefully repurposed, knowingly or unknowingly, to serve the interests of a select few. The visa-free entry, for example, was touted as a step toward economic integration, yet it had the unintended effect of allowing a wave of migration that many saw as a direct threat to their way of life. Similarly, the disarmament of local vigilantes, while intended to reduce the potential for abuse of arms, left communities without their traditional means of defense. In this context, the actions of the Fulani Cabal were not an isolated aberration, but the inevitable result of a series of misguided policies. I began to see the crisis as a multifaceted tragedy, a perfect storm where ideology, government policy, and long-standing community divisions had converged to create a situation that was both volatile and heartbreaking. The declaration that Nigeria was a conquered nation and a divine gift for only one group was, in many ways, the spark that ignited this destructive chain of events. It was an ideology steeped in exclusivity and meant to exclude those who did not fit into a narrow vision of national identity. For many Nigerians, this was an affront not only to their heritage, but to the very notion of what it means to belong to a nation that is built on diversity and shared destiny. I began to retrace the steps that led to this point. I recalled how, 6 years ago, influential leaders had met, not in the open, transparent manner that one might expect in a democratic society, but in secretive gatherings that were shrouded in an air of inevitability. These meetings were not ordinary discussions. They were declarations of intent, statements that carried the weight of divine authority. They proclaimed that Nigeria was a land chosen by Allah, a gift reserved for those who shared a particular vision of faith, culture, and language. This message, once set free, quickly took on a life of its own. It spread among communities and took root in the hearts of many who felt that they had been marginalized by the forces of modernity and globalization. The implications of such a belief were staggering. When a group comes to see itself as divinely ordained to rule over an entire nation, it creates a dangerous dichotomy, one that divides people into the chosen and the unworthy. For those who did not share in this belief, the message was clear and cruel. You do not belong. I found it hard to accept that in a nation as populous and diverse as Nigeria, anyone could claim such a narrow and exclusionary right to the land. And yet that is exactly what was happening. The narrative of divine inheritance was being used as a justification for exclusion, a rationale for expelling those who were deemed different, particularly the Igbos. I remember feeling a deep sense of sorrow as I considered the impact this would have on the bonds that hold our society together. Nigeria, at its best, has always been a mosaic of cultures, a place where different peoples come together to create something greater than the sum of their parts. The thought that any ideology would seek to tear that mosaic apart was both heartbreaking and infuriating. It was a betrayal of the shared values of coexistence and mutual respect that many of us hold dear. The news report I listened to went into further detail about the consequences of these policies. It described how the migration that was allowed to flow into Nigeria had brought with it not only people seeking new opportunities, but also a wave of violence. In the northern regions, where the influx was greatest, clashes erupted almost immediately. Armed groups began to assert their presence, their actions fueled by the conviction that they had been divinely authorized to claim the land. What started as sporadic violence soon turned into a pattern, a cycle of attack and retribution that spread from the north to the south. Homes were burned, farmlands trampled, and entire communities found themselves caught in a spiral of fear and despair. One incident in Enugu in particular stood out as a tragic symbol of this crisis. The report described how a violent attack left 32 homes reduced to smoldering ruins. I can only imagine the horror of those who witnessed their world being torn apart in a matter of hours. The security forces, who were expected to intervene and protect the citizens, arrived only after the massacre had taken its toll. Instead of pursuing the attackers or offering immediate assistance, they focused on recovering the bodies of the fallen. Such a response not only failed to provide comfort or justice for the victims, but also deepened the sense of abandonment felt by the community. It was as if the state had silently acknowledged that its duty had been neglected, leaving the people to fend for themselves. This failure of the state was a recurring theme in the general's account. He spoke with a tone that was both anguished and defiant, challenging the leaders and security officials to explain why those responsible for the violence were not being held accountable. He reminded us that justice could not be achieved if those who perpetrated these crimes, or those who were complicit in facilitating them, were allowed to go unpunished. In his eyes, the lack of accountability was not just a failure of administration. It was a moral failing, a betrayal of the trust that citizens place in those who govern them. I found myself questioning the very nature of leadership in these times. True leadership as I have always believed, is about serving the people and protecting the vulnerable. It is about having the courage to speak out against injustice, even when it means going against powerful interests. Yet the voices of many political leaders had grown faint, their words reduced to platitudes that offered little in the way of concrete solutions. In contrast, some leaders, particularly among the Yoruba communities, had been outspoken in their condemnation of the violence. Their courage was a beacon in the darkness, a reminder that there were still those who cared deeply about the welfare of all Nigerians. But in many parts of the country, especially in the southeast, the silence was deafening. The inaction of those who were supposed to lead left many to wonder if there was any hope of restoring justice and security in a system that had seemingly abandoned its duty.
That is from Brigadier General Kunde Togun. Brigadier General Kunde Togun. He's a retired Nigerian army officer, as you know. The man was the head of Amatokun in Oyo State. The man is spitting out fire. Now, I want us to analyze. We have a lot of things to discuss today, okay? I want us to analyze what this man said. Number one, he said 6 years ago. I'm trying to analyze what this man said because it's not everybody that will listen to someone and understand what the man is saying. He said 6 years ago, the Fulanese met in Kano. I am quoting Brigadier General Kunde Togun now. The Fulanese met in Kano and they said that the whole Fulanese in Sub-Saharan Africa, West Africa should come down and march down to Nigeria. That Allah has given them Nigeria as their inheritance. Let me repeat that, okay? They met in Kano 6 years ago, according to Brigadier General Kunde Togun. And they said that all Fulanese in Africa should come down to Nigeria. That Allah has given them Nigeria as their inheritance. Allah has given them your own land, your ancestral homes, as their inheritance. Now, the second thing this man said is that when these people were coming, the federal government, they carried out two things. You remember that time Buhari said free visa for everybody, let them come into the country, let everybody come. You understand? Now, the two things that they do after the visa free, Buhari ordered that both Amatokun, every vigilante officer, that everybody should submit their gun to police. Are you not aware of what happened that time? It's everybody should submit their gun to the police. And they did. Now, after they have submitted their weapons to the police, the federal government now starts importing them. I am quoting Brigadier General Kunde Togun, an honest Yoruba man, the former head of Amatokun in Oyo State, okay? Now, the federal government started importing them into the country. Now, after importing them, what happened? These people started operating in the north. Later, they came to Yoruba land. Later, to the east. Later, to the south, and so on and so forth. But I have a big problem. The Yorubas are more honest than the Igbo leaders. The Yoruba leaders are honest. If any Yoruba leader comes out to talk about the issue of insecurity in the southwest, they hit the nail at the head, they call the criminal, they call the invader the invaders. But the southeast is that a governor will come out, like Soludo will tell you that the whole problem in the southeast are Biafra dictators. He will say that. And him saying that, did he stop the insecurity? The kidnap of Nnamdi Kanu, did they stop the insecurity? The whole thing they have done against the whole Biafra dictators, tell me, how does it stop the insecurity challenges in the southeast? Because these people fail to know the truth. The Yoruba elders are more honest than the Igbo elders and politicians. They are more honest. They know their problem now. Even though these people, they embraced all these Fulanis before like their brothers. But when they came to realize and understand the mission of these people, they call them whom they are. You are terrorists, you are invaders. And look at, they will come out boldly. Tell me how many Igbo politicians, elders that can come out to make such statement as bold as this man. Tell me. The other day, Mr. Papohonda was on Arise News. He was saying that no, Nigeria is poisonous to the Yoruba nation. If it was Igbo man that said that, his governor will be the one to condemn him. Who has done this to these people? That we can't say the truth. We are afraid to die, and the death we are afraid is happening to us every day. People are dying every day for nothing. People are dying every day. Stay with me. I am coming to what happened in the Southeast, okay? Just stay with me. Now, the issue here is that now these people has already come. These people has arrived. These people are already in your backyard. They are already in your homes. They are already in your churches. They are already in your bushes. They are already in your farmland. They are already in your market. What else are you going to do? You know, they said that prevention is better than cure, right? Prevention is better than cure. Now, we were unable to prevent it. People like Nnamdi Kanu say something, they warn us, they do all sort of things, they call him criminal. Even today, if I still come out to tell you this is what will happen, some people will still say, leave that guy, he don't know what he's saying. But you people are dying like chickens. Your people are dying like chickens. Your people are dying like chickens. What else do you want to understand that this is not a nation? Any country that can protect our citizens is not a nation. It might be a country, it's not a nation. It is not a nation. Now, let us come to understand what happened in what is it called? Ebonyi State. It is very dangerous what happened in Ebonyi State. I'm not going to make reference to everything. There is nothing you don't know about what happened in Ebonyi State. If you need the videos of the dead people there, chat, just write me hi on WhatsApp. I'll send it to you. It's not what I can show you here, so that YouTube will not block my account. Let me tell you now, this evening, they sent me the videos and the pictures of people who are close to where the thing happened in Ebonyi. In Enugu State now, Enugu villages now that are close there, they are leaving their homes. This is 2025. Igbos are leaving their homes. What happened during Nigeria and Biafra war is happening again. Igbos are being killed in their home. Igbos are being chased out of their home. I thought they said the Southeast is like a dot. That was what Buhari said. Buhari said Southeast is like a dot. A dot. Okay? That's, they don't have man, they don't have population. It's like a dot. So why can't you stay in your own land that is not a dot and rear your cattle and do everything you want to do? Now, this is the problem. The governor of Ebonyi State, Francis Nwifuru, Francis this evening made a statement. I have been waiting for the statement of the governor because I know that the governor is going to fuck up. Okay? Francis Nwifuru said, Ebonyi State people should not revenge. You know what that means? Do not arm yourself. When the self-defense becomes a crime, when I tell you people that in this world there is no law, that where globalists are, there is no law. Interest, only interest exists. The deputy governor of Ebonyi State, that woman, on Saturday morning, she took the military, she took the policemen. Now they went to that community. That community already received threat from the Fulanis that they are coming to raise down their community. They have already received the threats. Then what do they do? These people, I was told that these people started preparing and arming themselves. That if this Fulani comes, we will march to them, we will march with them, violence to violence. We will prepare for them. But what happened? When this deputy governor of Ebonyi State, you people should listen, deputy governor of Ebonyi State came with the military and police and told the whole community, everybody should calm down. No more war. We have resolved the whole issue. Don't run away from your homes. Stay in your homes. Everything is okay. They left. They told me that 1 hour 40 minutes, the military, the police, and the deputy governor left. What they saw was the inflows of the Fulani herdsmen with AK-47, with bombs, with all kinds of ammunition. They started burning the houses, shooting people, killing people. It lasted from 9:30 a.m. down to 4 o'clock. They were there 6 hours, 30 minutes. The people that left 1 hour ago could not come. Then after After about the 6 hours, they said the Fulani herdsmen have finished raising down the whole community. They left. When they left, the police, the soldiers, they came. They told them, sorry, we heard what happened. We are sorry for the loss. Now they started looking for dead bodies to carry. Now, I was watching the video where they were carrying dead bodies. The police was there watching the dead bodies. The police, they were there watching the dead bodies. They did not go after the Fulanis that came to kill the people in the ancestral land. They did not go after the Fulanis that came to kill people in the ancestral land, but they were guiding dead bodies. They were guiding dead bodies. So, they did not go after the people who came to kill them. I was watching what was happening. It was like, wait, is this Igbo land? Is this Nigeria? Is this thing happening today? I was watching all those pictures, videos of, look at, in today's world, this is the way the Fulanis are turning Igbo land to. And the deputy governor came to tell them not to leave their homes. And they refused to leave their homes. This is what they meant. And up to today, an arrest has never been made. No arrest against people who carried out this act. No arrest. I mean no arrest. The governor told them, only thing the governor said is, do not retaliate. Do not retaliate on someone who came into your ancestral land, came into your ancestral land to kill you. They asked you not to retaliate. This is unacceptable. I used to see this thing in Borno State, in Zambia, in Southern Kaduna, in Plateau State, in Benue. I have never seen something like this in Igbo land. The total number of houses raised down was about 32. The report coming this evening. About 32 houses. Tell me, how many houses do we have in the community that these people were able to raise down 32 houses? 32 houses. And the death toll is rising, rising, and rising. And you think that everything is in order? We are in a very, very dangerous time. Perilous time. And if care is not taken, if this thing continues like this, the people will have no choice. The people will have no choice. Self-defense is a right. It's a fundamental right of everybody. Everyone in Nigeria right now is on a death row. You don't even know what will happen in the next hour. You don't know what will happen in the next minutes. And that is why Yoruba elders and politicians are rising to the occasion, telling their people, this is what is going on. But the Igbo politicians and elders are betraying their people. They are betraying their people. They are doing all sorts of evil against their people. They are lying against their people in the presence of international communities, telling them that their people are the one doing all sorts of things. The other day, Sheikh Ahmed Gumi said that they should arm Igbo boys to kill Igbo boys. They should arm them to kill IPOB. They should arm Igbo boys to kill the Biafra agitators. And I was asking, before Sheikh Ahmed Gumi will come out to say that they should arm Igbo boys to kill the Biafra agitators, meaning they had a meeting with Igbo politicians where they were asking, what do we do to stop these people? That is not enough. Now, I am going to tell you a very clear story and strategy by which the Fulanis are eliminating so many people in Igbo land. Now, listen to me. You can go and check the last video I upload on this platform after this live stream. In that video, I showed you a video of 3 Fulani terrorists that were arrested. 3 of them, they handcuffed 3 of them. Now, what was their crime? These people were selling cows. And they used to tell people, come and buy our cows, come and see our cows. And when these people come where their cow is, they will open fire on them and buy them and kill them. So these people now went again. They went to check their cow. When they got there, they opened fire on them. And these people, thank God, some people fortified themselves. They called back up. They called back up and some of them ran away. They were able to apprehend 3 of them. Now the question I'm asking is, How many times have these people killed? How many times have they killed? How many times have they used a strategy to kill? That you went to buy cow, you want to buy cattle, and you arrive there, you did not come back. And tomorrow they will say it is Biafra dictators that are killing their people. This is the narrative that they are pardoning. Everybody, let me tell you, you can kill the prophets, but you cannot stop the message. If they lie, they can continue to kill everyone that comes to tell them the truth. But the truth is that people will continue to die. The insecurity will continue to exist like this. The reason why it will continue to exist is because the Igbos, the politicians and their elders, they don't know what they are doing. Some people know the truth, but they are afraid to speak the truth because their allegiance are to the people who are sponsoring the terrorists. I said that, quote me anywhere. They pay allegiance to people who are sponsoring insecurity. Tell me, how can these people have the guts to stand against them? Like what the Yoruba elders are doing. Like what the Yoruba elders are doing. Time without number, I told you people that the only solution to all this issue we are seeing is that let people come together and separate Nigeria. Because you are just seeing the head of Amatokun, Brigadier General Togun. Togun is saying that 6 days ago that the Fulanis met in Kano. This one is not all about the meeting they had centuries ago or tens of years ago where Usman Danfodio told them to conquer. This is 6 years ago, saying that Allah has given Nigeria to them, that they should call all their brothers from Sahel State and West Africa. They should come with arms. That is the only language Nigeria understand. Your politicians are aware of this. Your governor, they are aware of this. People who you call your leaders are aware of this. But unfortunately, very unfortunate, very unfortunate, they don't have the guts to speak. I ask question upon question. These people that call themselves leaders, how dumb can they be? Right from time, with any video that they don't want to see on the internet, we try all our possible best to make sure we bring such video to the internet, just for the benefit of people who are still doubting us. Do you remember now? Let me tell you, anybody I thought they have arrested that is associated to bandits, I have never seen where they are trying them. They have never tried them. I have never seen, I need the proof. I have never seen where they are trying anybody that is associated to terrorism, bandits, all these people they imported. They don't try them in Nigeria court. Now, there was a time the Commissioner of Police in Zamfara State made this statement.
We can say now banditry is an industry in Zamfara State. Last month, we arrested a member of the State House of Assembly in banditry here in Zamfara State. We arrested a district head. We also as well arrested a former local government chairman. So you can see that involvement of this class of people in banditry is more making the situation to become more and more complex. So in essence, I can say that all caliber of people now are involved. All manner of people are involved in this banditry. More alarming and more disturbing.
Now, the question I want to ask is, this commissioner of police that came to tell us that they arrested the one of the House of Assembly member who is a bandit, sponsoring bandit, they arrested local government chairman, they arrested youth leaders. Where do they try them? Where are they today? Where do they try them? And where are they today? It's a simple question, an honest question. I just want to ask, okay, where are they today? They don't try them. Now, they say the deputy governor of Ebonyi State, the deputy governor of Ebonyi State, this villager is what they told us, that the deputy governor of Ebonyi State called police for Ebonyi people that killed the cow. They are still one cow of this Fulani herdsmen because they destroyed their farmland, they destroyed everything they labored in 1 year. Now the deputy governor called police to arrest him. Now they said up till today, as I speak to you, the deputy governor has never stepped their leg in where they kill so many people. We are our own problem. We are our own problem. The issue of all this banditry, blah 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 blah, insecurity, terrorism, all these things is tied to one agenda. That is what Brigadier General is saying. That the message says ago in Kano, and they said that Nigeria is like Nigeria is a gift that Allah has given to them. Now, I want to challenge the CDS, the Chief of Defense Staff. If the Chief of Defense Staff said he don't know, or if he says that he don't know what is going on, he don't have all this information about the importation of banditry, because he went to Qatar to tell the whole world that people who are terrorizing Nigeria, that are being sponsored from international community. CBS, did he tell them, he did not tell the people of Qatar that politicians in Nigeria imported all these terrorists? CBS did not tell them. I want to challenge the Inspector General of Police. Let him come out to tell us that he don't know who from Boko Haram. Let him come out to tell us that he don't know who from Boko Haram. I challenge the head of DSS. Let them come out to tell us that they don't know who is sponsoring the boys called Fulani herdsmen. Let them come out to tell us we don't know. That is what we want to hear. Let them come out to say it. And we will float everything on the internet and let people see. Let them come out to tell us we don't know who is sponsoring bandits. We don't know who from Boko Haram. We don't know who imported terrorists into Nigeria. I challenge every security operative, all their department, all their heads, to come out to tell us that they don't know. Let them tell us that they don't know what police commissioner in Zamfara said. That politicians they arrested, that they are part of banditry. Let them come out to tell us that they don't know what the governor of Zamfara said, that Tinubu's minister is supporting the bandits. Let them come out to tell us that they don't know. Let them come out to tell us they don't know what T.Y. Danjuma said, that the military and police are colluding with the armed bandits to wipe away the people. In Ebonyi State, the military connected the whole phones of people who are mourning their loved ones. After killing the rest of people, they connected the whole phone of the people who are alive. They asked them not to make any video. They asked them not to make any video. And these people, what they did was to submit their phones to the military. Then after the whole thing, military took the dead body. The military returned back and handed their phone over to them. I am saying this because the period of time has come. The period of time has come and everything you are afraid of is already before you. Those people who said they don't need war again, they don't need civil war again, what is more than civil war? Someone destroyed, within 6 hours, they destroyed 30 houses during Nigerian Biafra war. Nigerian military, they were unable to destroy 30 houses in 6 hours. They were unable. The war lasted for 3 years, almost 3 years. How many houses do they destroy? That in 6 hours, people destroy 30 houses. And you say we are afraid though, we don't want war like Biafra. Well, your people are already dying like chickens. It is time for us to remove fear and call the spade a spade. And that is why I'm telling you, the Yoruba man will be able to solve these security challenges in Yoruba land because they are not afraid to call the spade a spade. They are not afraid to take the bull by the horn. Look at their politicians. Look at the stance of the whole retired military general. Look at the stance of the Amotokun heads. Look at the stance of their politician now. They are just facing what is facing them. But Igbo politicians, they are here and they are trying to be politically correct. Look at someone like Soludo will come out. We only say the problem we're having are the criminal elements who are saying they are agitating for Biafra. That is just what they are saying. Now, the 3 people they arrested who are calling Igbos inside the bush, killing them in the bush, who are they? Who are they? It is time for us to think. The evil that men do will always come ahead of them. Anything you do because of political position, anything you do because you have an office, because let me tell you, it is going to come back against you because you are doing it against your people. Someone cannot be greater than the land that he or she was born. You cannot be greater than your land. All these politicians who are monitoring, supervising, and supporting the killings against their people. The day of reckoning is coming fast. Because the people cannot continue to die and fold their hands. I was watching one of the brother of the slain man. He was watching his brother like, he's like someone who is running mad already. Can you stop that man not to carry a weapon and face anybody he want to face tomorrow? Someone that the army, the police, and deputy governor came to tell them that we have resolved the case. Don't prepare for everywhere is cool. And after 1 hour, Fulani came and destroyed their houses, killed them, do everything. Enough is enough, okay? Enough is enough. If your politician tells you that I will change Nigeria, I will be this, I will be president, tell the person you don't know what he's saying. Because as far as I'm concerned, I have not seen anybody who is coming out that want to lead, that is facing the problem. Nobody. They are afraid to talk. They want to be puppets. They want to be pushed. They want to be controlled. This is what we know. They said we should not talk. They said we don't know what we are talking about. But we tell them we have evidence of what we are talking about. This is 2025. Nigerian military asked them not to video what is happening, not to video their houses that are burning, not to video people who are dying. Nigerian military took their phone. They want to seize the evidence. They don't want the international community to see it. Unfortunately, the international community already got the report. They knew what happened even before the other people, even before the state governor got the file. The international community, they got it. What are we doing again? What are we doing on the internet again? We must tell the world what is going on. We must tell the world the truth. This is not happening in Igbo land alone. I told you. It's happening in Yoruba land. But they are trying their possible best to contain it there. But Igbos don't still know their problem. They are fighting the Biafra dictators. When it comes to where Nigeria calls South, okay? When it comes to the South, we are already under siege. Every now and then, fight, killing, everywhere. And some people are still talking about 2027. Shame on to you. I don't know the adjective I will use to qualify the state of your brain. You are still talking about the future of Nigeria. You are still talking about this, talking about that. Do you have future? You don't have future. The people that died on Sunday that they came to kill, those people, they were preparing for their future. Some of them were preparing to travel to Canada. Some of them were wearing the not choosing, what is it called? All those reflecting gown that the not choosing used to wear. I am choosing. They were going to church. So everybody were thinking future, but they call them short. Be careful. Be careful with your politicians. I am not inciting you with your politicians, but I'm telling you that the politicians that you have are the reason why they are killing you. Because they never said anything about this. They are afraid to talk. They are afraid to come against it. The people have the ability to contain everything that is going on. The people have the ability to contain what is going on. If they allow the people to carry on, everything that is happening will end. Is it not AK-47 to AK-47, bomb to bomb? That is just it. Or would they allow you to do that? No. I just told you that the dead bodies were lying on the ground and the police were guiding the dead body. They refused to chase people who came to kill them. They refused to chase the body. If you are part of the people I've sent the videos to, watch the video well. The policemen are there covering their face and nose. They are back watching people there, watching the dead bodies. But they refuse to go after the bandits who came to kill them. They refuse to go after the terrorists who came to kill them. Nigeria can never work again. A country that kills our people cannot work. The government has failed. And this government of APC are the one who make sure that all this insecurity are moving. All this insecurity are spreading. They may call them Nakurawa, bandits or terrorists, Boko Haram, SWAP, they are one with one mission. Nakurawa came. They said, our mission is to send the message of Allah. Everyone who do not believe it, us will kill them. Boko Haram came, they said, Western education is sane. That Islamic education is only the right way. That is what they want. ISWAP came the same thing. Nakurawa went to the extent of giving everybody 1 million. Just agree with our message. We give you 1 million.
This is the end of our news update. Please click the icon on the top right corner of your screen to watch my next video. You will enjoy it. I will see you again in my next update. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye for now.